everybody. Welcome to another episode of Three Clarkes Podcast. I am your host, Dwayne.
I am Shantae.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are the Three Clarkes. And it has been what was that?
Not me.
It has been an exciting week. A lot of stuff going on this week. So we got a lot of topics to talk about. But as always, I want to see what's going on with my co-hosts, what they've been going on, what they got new, what they want to talk about, what they want to advertise, what they want to put out in the world, good feelings and great tidings. Oh, especially I want to say, first I want to say happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Shantae appropriating cultures by doing that. That's okay. Right? That's okay. She doing Cinco de Mayo, so
I'm doing it the way that I do it.
The made up holiday where black people just go out and get drunk. So
pretty much,
basically. But what's going on, Shantae? With ladies first, as always. What's going on with you? What's going on last week that we don't know that you want to tell the people about?
So my artist Eli, we have solidified his concert date for his next upcoming concert. It's going to be July the 13th. So please listen out and stay tuned for details. And then I have a question for you guys. So yesterday I was on my podcast with my co-host Nia on Tea and Things. Mm-hmm. And our discussion was about men and how they feel with a successful woman. But we didn't really have a male's perspective.
Okay.
Like, is it intimidating for a dude to be with a woman who is more successful than them?
We will answer that question after we finish the intro and talk to everybody else.
Oh,
she just jumped right into a subject.
No, not really a subject.
She just asked this question. Is like, okay, do guys really? That's a whole conversation. Can Jeffrey get off what he got going on? Can I get off what I got going on? Then you start asking those questions. You just want to jump in and talk about this, that, and the other before we show them. So
his answer is yes.
I just talk about my artist.
Look, his answer is yes.
Talk about what he got going on. We talk about your artist. It's like exactly. Okay. Oh, okay. That's what Shantae got going on. So now, Jeff,
I just had a burning question. My goodness.
Couldn't your burning question wait after I finish?
No, because I know if I didn't get it in now, I'm like, nah, you just said we have 50,000 topics, so okay.
I said we got a lot to talk about. The one of your topics could have been what we got to talk about, but you just want to jump in.
He don't never let me get a topic in.
Jeffrey, what you got going on this week? What's been going on with you, man?
I have a concert coming up. I have a couple albums in the shower. Double platinum showers. I just signed to a label, so I got a couple albums in the making in the shower. So. Just keep a lookout for that. Other than that,
in the shower.
other than that, nothing much. Chilling.
So, Mr. Clark, what do you have going on?
Lord have mercy. So, this week has been a fun week. Actually, I was on another podcast. I was on my best friend Lim's VO1 podcast this week on Tuesday, and he had a discussion on real estate. And I was the only, as him the host, I was the only male in real estate. He had me up against 3 other females, which was a very good conversation.
Up against?
I guess we were up against, we were just, I guess he's the male. He had a male perspective and he had 3 other females, which everybody, I don't think we were against each other. We were just talking on our perspective of what's going on in the real estate industry here in Atlanta and how we deal with what's going on in real estate. And we had a great conversation. So, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out on the replay. Lem Millions One video podcast. We talked about real estate and stuff, but check him out every week. We're partners in this. So go ahead and check out what he's got going on. And I had an interview. Now.
And it was very interesting, guys. There was a lot of very good perspectives in terms of dealing with clients, in terms of sourcing clients, in terms of what it takes to be a real estate agent, as well as what you would get if you came to any of them to get a house either bought or sold. So I think that they definitely did give some good perspectives about that.
And if you wanted to get into the business, what you want to do. But also, Shantae had a podcast on Wednesday, and she had a subject she would like to talk about.
Well, I already said my question. So.
And I forgot it already because you just went through this episode. So go ahead and ask your question again so that we can properly address your question the proper way.
You see what I got to deal with, folks. You see this?
See what who got to deal with?
You see this?
Jeffrey over there to be super quiet. He ain't jumping on nobody's side. I'm just
anyway,
saying.
So our topic was I thought it was very interesting, but we didn't have any male perspectives. So I said that I would pose it to my 2 male cast members, which is the topic was, do men get intimidated by their mate being a highly successful woman?
No, not me.
I think some men do, but there's a reason.
They insecure.
Not necessarily intimidated. They don't want to deal with them, because sometimes some women seem to, regardless of, you talk about more successful and makes more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some women tend to treat their men differently, knowing that they make money more. Treat them less than. So I know a lot of guys that don't want to deal with that because of that. Like, I wouldn't care as long as you treat me the same. Like, if I'm your husband, I'm still gonna be, let me lead. But I would rather not be in a position if it was gonna be to where I'm gonna be treated less than a man.
So let me ask you this, and this was kind of something that we posed, is that, okay, so if you get with the woman and you decide, hey, yeah, I want to be in this relationship with them, and then you struggle, you're at this point where you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Do we step in to help you? And how much is too much to step in?
That's nothing wrong with stepping in to help. I mean, it's for richer or poor, right?
Depending on your relationship. If you're dating or seriously dating, I'm like, there's a difference. But if you're married, now did you say difference between married or dating? You just said your partner.
Your partner. I just said partner.
Female.
We didn't really say
if you're married or just seriously dating.
Right.
So
do you let them struggle? Like if I got 2 cars and you have no car, should I give you the car so that you can do what you need to do? Or do I let you ride the bus to get what you need to get?
For me, I wouldn't want to take her car because that's hers. And then, depending on the female, dating wise, yes, no. I'm gonna find out to get mine the way I can, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm gonna drive the bus, I'm ride the train, do what I got to do. But now this day and age, you got Lyft and Uber and all that. But when it was back in the day, when it was that, I was walking, riding the train, riding the bus. I wouldn't ask nobody. I'm not gonna ask nobody until I can get it. When I did get it, then I can say, okay, well, you know what? Let me borrow this. Let me do that, because I know I got it and I give it back. But I'm not going to just off as a man. And sometimes that's, as they call it, toxic masculinity. But sometimes I've seen it where men just take the other car and then they get lazy and they don't do nothing. They don't try to elevate themselves. They don't try to get their own or give back the car and get a new car. They just try to just, oh, well, she already gave me this. She already making that. I'm just going to do the basic minimum, and then I'll be straight. I'm like,
you don't need this other car. I'm just going to use it.
I'm going to use it up. So it differs for every man. I personally think it differs for every man, because there's a lot of men out there that are just that are users and are lazy and they won't get out and do nothing. I've seen a lot of deadbeat dads out there, a lot of deadbeat men, period.
Right. So then the last question I have for you guys before we move on is, so one thing we discussed was, so you're in the relationship with the woman, right? Mm-hmm. And everything seems to be all good. She appears to be doing everything that she's supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And then you go and you cheat. And the person that you cheat with is less than the woman you got. Mm-hmm. Why would a man do that?
I guess if someone cheats, it's not about what they got. I guess it comes down to how they're treated. Just like women, like a woman cheats, I know it's more emotional than anything else. Like for a man, like I guess it doesn't matter what they got. I guess it's all about how they treat it. Sometimes you ain't the one. That's just what it is. Sometimes you just not the one. Some women, I heard of marriages fail or relationships fail, and the woman's like, I did everything I was supposed to do, and he like, you just may not be the one. That's what it. Sometimes this is how it is.
A woman that they go and cheat with a woman less than.
You know, less than
the woman
that you with. So like, okay, I'm coming home, I'm cooking, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm, I'm basically the head of the household. Why would you then go find somebody who they're relying on you to pick them up? They are looking for you to pay the bill, and you do it.
Oh,
like
sometimes it's just a man mentality. It's like, okay, she doing all that, and she won't let me do it. Okay, I'll find somebody and do it for them because I can be in control. It's control factor. Maybe they want to be in control.
Want to be the one to take care.
They want to be able to take care, so they'll say, okay, when it comes up to bills and controls, like, okay, well, I ain't pay your bill, or I ain't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to do what I say. It's control.
I get, yeah.
But then why stay with the woman? Why cheat? Just leave her.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
like the only reason why you got extra money is because you ain't paying no damn bills.
Maybe that's why. That's probably what it is.
That's why. So they have the power.
Yeah, that's his.
For all black man.
Yeah, his safety net.
Oh, safety net. All right, so I will definitely share that with our female viewers on Tea and Things, because we were trying to figure it out, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna ask my dudes.
Your dudes.
I'm gonna ask my dudes tomorrow and try to figure this out, and then bring back the results.
Listen, we don't speak for all men, so don't be going there talking about something.
Well, no.
Wayne and Jeffrey said, y'all. You guys. Y'all do this. We can only speak on what we've seen.
The only thing that I'm saying is that, this is just a male's perspective. That's all we're saying. Because as a female, I feel certain ways about that. Sometimes I do agree. I think it's a control thing. Mm-hmm. I think, hey, I can't really do for you. So in order to make myself feel good, I'm going to go do for this other person. But it's not because I don't love you. It's just that I need that in my life to feel whole.
Some men cannot handle that. They cannot have. So I met some men that's like, when we go out, she not paying for nothing. I'm paying for everything. Like, he will not let her pay for anything.
Yeah, I've seen some people
they will not let them pay for anything.
Knowing they make more money.
And they, and then some guys will be out there letting their women do everything. Some guys are different, man.
Everybody's different. It depends on the relationship you're in. It depends on how the relationship progresses.
And I know it's hard. If you got a woman that's super successful, it's very hard for them to be submissive to somebody.
And that is a whole nother story, but it is definitely true. Yeah. I will say, not necessarily because I'm more successful than Dwayne or anything like that, but when we first got married, it was because I was very independent. Mm-hmm. Used to doing my own thing, used to having my own stuff, used to paying my own bills. So it was kind of hard to fall back. Yeah. And it was my dad who was like, hey, everything that you're doing right now, you need to do that differently, or you're not gonna have no husband. Mm-hmm. He had to tell me, because I didn't get it, and Dwayne was trying to communicate that to me, but I didn't understand what he was saying. Yeah. Like, he was trying to say, okay, don't do it like this, you need to do it like this, or don't tell me like this, you need to tell me like that, like you need to find a different way to kind of say stuff. Yeah. And I didn't understand, because I'm like, I'm just telling you how I feel, and I'm just telling you as it comes to me. Like, I'm not trying to do it one way or the other. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. And it was my dad that had to sit me down and say, you have to say it like this, not like this. You have to do it like this, not like this, unless you just don't want to continue to be married. Mm-hmm. Because what I'm seeing from you, I don't like that. And you need to change that. So that's one reason why you gotta have girl dads.
Yeah, and a lot of these girls don't have that.
You don't have girl dads.
A lot of them that don't have dads. Period. They have sperm donors.
Yeah,
They don't have dads or fathers.
And they're growing up thinking how to
I don't need a man do this. I don't need him. Shit, he can't do that.
Like I literally had to stop dating like women because of their mindset about I could just see where this is gonna go because you're just so so yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely was my dad who sat me down and was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
I mean, he just saw like the interaction in between us, and parents are always going to be parents. Mm-hmm. They're always gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly. They always gonna have something to say. And one thing I can say that was great about my dad, especially back then in that situation, he never tried to embarrass me in front of Dwayne. Dwayne probably never even knew we had these type of conversations. Mm-hmm. But my dad was always very good about saying, you need to correct yourself.
Yeah.
This is not the way I raised you. This is not the way I envision you being, and you need to correct yourself or you ain't gonna have no man. Mm-hmm. So what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And your parents can be brutally honest with you.
Yeah.
Where, with your mate, you crying, you can't hear it and you don't understand and you don't mm-hmm. With your parents, you just gotta be like, oh, okay, that's what I was doing. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So shout out to Dad for helping me correct myself.
Shout out to the good dads out there.
All right. Shantae got her subject off from her show last night, so we're talking about. Let's get into some funny, crazy. So tonight's show is called "Leave People Alone Before Somebody Get Hurt." So a lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of national news, local news, but I want to talk about this one thing that I saw on social media, and it was hilarious. So an Atlanta man was found guilty of shooting a victim over a game of Uno.
What?
He was at a house party and he reneged and he shot the dude at the house party for reneging on Uno.
How you reading? Well, let me see. Because you could be like, I don't have no greens. Not goldfish. What did you sell? Well, how you renege on Uno?
I don't know how they did. How they did it?
Because with Uno, you got to have the right color card. Like if you put a card down and then I put down.
Or somebody said, okay, I saw this comedy skit. They was like, they call him thing. Can you put a draw 2 on top of draw 4? He's like.
Yes, it depends on what version of the.
No, you can't drop. Hold on. How you gonna draw 4? I hit you. You got draw 4. How you gonna hit me back with a draw 2 reverse?
Because.
No, you gotta draw that 4. No, you can't hit it with it.
No. So
the next person can draw 2. But you gotta draw 4.
No, if it's only 2 of y'all playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the color is green.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit you with a draw 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you draw 4. That's your turn. It's my turn again. So then I hit you with the draw 2. Then you draw 2. Then it's my turn again. Then I hit you with the reverse. Then it's my turn again. And then I say Uno. And then Uno out.
That's how people get killed. That's how he got shot. He got shot because of that. I'm like, damn.
Look, do not play with me on Uno. I will school you on Uno.
Is it that serious though? They on a game of spades, Uno, they killing folks in Atlanta over Uno and spades.
Listen.
I was like, you at a house party, you drinking. I was like, they go, you can't. Or they reneging on spades.
Oh, don't renege on spades now.
They jumping up and fighting.
Or don't overbid or underbid. You better not be overbidding or underbidding. Trying to set me up.
I never wanted to learn. I don't play spades with black people.
First of all, I've been playing spades since I was in high school.
Okay.
And we was like cutthroat with it.
That's why.
But I never got in no fight, but I did cuss a couple people out over some spades.
I've witnessed an argument every spades game that I've witnessed. There was an argument. I said, that's why.
I just feel like you got to be tough to play spades.
Well, we Jamaican, you know what I saw? We always saw the fight over the domino table. The dominoes, they used to go crazy. And there's one game the Jamaicans have, and us Jamaicans have this called, I think it's Ludi. I don't know. I'm messing it up right now. So, but somebody has to eventually teach me that game. I was like, well, there's some hard card games, but y'all are king games. So Y'all be in the board games. I didn't know nothing about no board games till I came out. I knew Monopoly.
I like categories. I like that game. This is like a game it's like a game of intelligence, and you have to like outsmart the other people around you because you kind of have to know what their dialect is. Then you know their dialect, then you can select something that they're not going to select because that's the only way you're going to get points.
So let me say this. Okay. When I married in Shantae, when I went to house party consisted of 3 things: food, alcohol, and dancing. Music and dancing. That's what house parties had. You had your food, music, and dancing. People chit-chat, but there was always dancing and music and food. That's what house parties is. When I got with my wife, house parties consist of food, drinking, and games. There was music, but it was basically background music. There was no dancing music. I'm like, ain't nobody dance? Nobody would dance. I'm like, where's the dancing going on? And the parties, her parties didn't last as long as our parties. Our parties would go. My parents were my age, they had parties at the house. Those parties would last till 5, 6 in the morning.
First of all, the first time I went to a house party with Dwayne, I did not know I was required to take a nap prior to going to the party because I was like, what? I mean, I kept looking at the clock like, what the hell time are we going home?
That's why most of them don't sleep. Most of Jamaica, they don't show up on time because the party don't start.
I'm like, what? Well, first of all, his people would be like, okay, the party starts at, let's just put a number on it, 8 o'clock. So I'm looking at my clock. I'm like, hey, it's like 7:45. Like, you're just like, you need to get dressed. It's time to go home. And he's like, well, we need to just I'm like, I don't want to be late. So he's like, okay, fine. We're going to go over.
I showed her the first couple times. She was all right. Go ahead.
So we sitting there. I'm like, why are they not done cooking yet? I'm not trying. I don't understand. Does 8 o'clock mean that's when you start preparing to do the party, or I am very confused because they ain't even open the bag of rice to even begin to start cooking it. I'm like, it's 8 o'clock. You guys about to have guests.
Chicken still marinating.
Ain't even
DJ haven't even set up. You know, I'm like, come on
the
now.
DJ don't even come for another 2 hours. I'm trying to figure out what kind of party is this. So,
but the parties last till 5, 6 in the morning. Then you
I think the
breakfast.
First party I went was that party out in Kennesaw at that house that Gary had.
Whose party was that? That wasn't my party.
I don't know whose party it was, but it was at Gary's house.
Was it Mom's party? No. I think it was it might have been Lloyd's party.
I don't know whose party it was.
Yeah, it was a few.
One was Mom's.
One was Mom. One was Lloyd's.
But that's when I found out that Omar, who was Jamaican, I had no idea because he
that might have been Jackie's party. One of Jackie's parties.
Right, because he, when I knew him back in the day, he didn't even have no accent. I was like. He came up to me like with this whole Caribbean flavor. I was like,
that's what we knew.
Everybody
knew everybody.
I was very confused. And he was like, oh, I didn't know you were Caribbean. I was like, I'm not. I'm here with my boyfriend. He's like, who are you marrying? I'm like, Dwayne. He was like, okay, I'm going to go over there. I'm like, have fun with that.
Ladies, people alone. Yeah,
parties. Robin know Omar and Trisha brother.
Yep. So parties. So Netflix, they added again.
They're doing now.
So Netflix is having a festival this weekend. It's called Comedy of Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival, and they put out big money because they got all the comedy stars out. They got Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, Jon Stewart, Dave Chappelle.
Hopefully they got some security.
Michael Blackson. Michael Blackson.
All the
Blackson. That's his name. Blackson.
Blackson.
No, that's no T in there.
No T. Blackson. I don't know who.
But that's not his real last name. Of course, it's not. I think he just changed it for what you call it. But so if y'all haven't seen or haven't heard. Somebody ran on stage and tackled Dave, hurt a couple of his ribs, and they thought he had a gun and a knife, which he had a fake gun with a knife attached.
How you going?
yeah.
How you run up on stage with a fake gun? Okay.
They beat him down though.
It's not Black Stun, it's Black Sun. Look it up. You thought it was Black Stun. No, there's no T in there. So he got on stage, got attacked, and then he got stomped out. He got
beat up for real.
I don't even know.
Ryan Cameron put a picture of it. I was like, oh Lord.
Who got stomped out? So everybody knows the drama behind Dave and the transgender community, and they fight and they want to boycott Netflix and they do this, that, and the other, and comedians and whatnot. So everybody's trying to speculate: is this a transgender person? Is he an ally? Or is it a Q or LGBTQ? That everybody's speculating, but nobody has any definite details yet. But Jamie Foxx came to help. Jon Stewart came to help, but Chris Rock finally said something. Chris Rock jumped on the mic and said, "Was that Will Smith?" The crowd went crazy.
Oh, really?
Crowd went
now
crazy.
That is funny.
That's funny.
Crowd went crazy. And
That is funny.
And even Dave laughed it off. Dave was like, "Oh, damn, we came to the comedy show, and I didn't expect to get tapped. I didn't expect that to happen. Is that part of the show?" Dave was talking about, "Is that part of the show?" He said, "Jamie Foxx, anytime you're in trouble, just expect Jamie Foxx to come out in a cowboy hat to help you out."
Oh, who he did? Django.
Django. So, as I'm saying, these folks out here is going crazy. Now, Will Smith has been knocked in with these crazies, but it's just the point where
that's his own fault. That's his own fault.
Comedy is basically undervalued. You can't watch a good comedian talk about nobody no more.
Yeah.
That's his own fault to get lumped in with the crazies. Yeah. When you get up on stage and slap somebody, and it looked like it was fake and rehearsed, and then
everybody said it was real,
and then you finally say it's real, you crazy. Something wrong with you.
I'm just
saying.
Did you see the pictures of the dude?
He looked so up.
They beat him down.
They beat him down.
His arm was broke backwards. I was like, what is that?
His arm was broke backwards?
I don't know. It's just the way they took the pictures. It was looking dislocated.
Hey, shout it.
But Dave had to come on and make comment. Well, he said something on stage, but then he came back because I know he's being smart about it. He said, Jamie Foxx, Jon Stewart, Chris Rock didn't touch the guy. It was security only because he beat up. Because
first of all, they all jumped on the stage.
Well, they were behind stage. The dude, they were backstage. It was like did
they come out on stage?
Yeah, they came out because he tackled Dave, and everybody ran on stage to catch him before he ran out because he tackled Dave and he jumped and tried to run off, and everybody caught him to hold him for the police.
All 6 of them?
No, they said they didn't hit him. It was security. It was like 20 security on him.
Okay, so they ain't get not one lick.
Not one lick. That's what Dave said. Okay. I just want to make it clear that Jon Stewart, Jamie.
Okay.
No. This dude, he attacked Dave.
Jamie Foxx with them damn French fry fingers. I'm pretty sure he just slapped them one time. You see, Jamie Foxx got the big old thick fingers. I'm like, oh, geez.
But Dave trying to save them people pockets because the first thing this dude was say, well, they was excessive. They didn't have to do all that and this, that, and the other.
Well, you didn't have to run up on stage. I felt like that's excessive.
Nobody knew if you had a gun or a real gun or a real
saw
knife.
The gun, so
they saw the gun. Yeah. They didn't know if the knife was real. They know the gun was real or not, so they was trying to protect themselves. So they were making sure you wouldn't move.
Right. This is it. I felt like what you did was excessive.
But the bad thing about it is the LA district attorney said they're not going to charge him with the felony assault. He's not getting charged with felony assault.
Child, listen.
It's going to be a misdemeanor.
Okay. Well, we see if you go to LA and you have any type of fame, it's fine for you to get hit and they ain't gonna do nothing. So, you might not want to do so much stuff there. Come on to the ATL.
Well, now they tried
ATL where they prosecute you just for being a certain melanin tone.
They tried, but your boy 50 Cent said something stupid. 50 was like,
50 that's my guy. What he just said?
50 said they not charging dude, but if the baby even thought about it, he have a felony charge. He'll be in federal prison right now.
Already.
He messing with the babies. I don't know what 50 Cent got about against the baby.
First of all, please don't get on 50 Cent bad side. Because it's about to go in on you.
So I don't know if this story is true. I seen it on a couple things right before I got online, but they're saying that Mr. Kevin, if y'all don't know Kevin Samuels, it's not confirmed, but it's trending. So I want to say it's not.
What
you,
is it?
You heard
What
it
is
too, right?
it? What is it?
Jeremy, you heard
Who's
it.
Kevin Samuels?
So you know the guy that gets on and talks to women about dating advice, and they talk about
the one that they tried to sue at one point.
Did they try to?
Yeah, they tried to sue him something about a book, and he was talking to people any kind of way, and then he came out and he was either gay or I can't remember exactly what the story is. So don't get me to line of saying no kind of truth.
Jeffrey checked me, so I'm not gonna say nothing about it since it's not confirmed. It's just trending on black sites right now.
Sound like it might be a rumor because I didn't hear any. Yeah,
so he need to jump on live and say something if it's not true. But it's like, okay, so we're not gonna talk about that.
Black Twitter talking about it.
So, like, leave these people alone. So, Shantae,
Dwayne,
it's on you.
What's on me?
Our subject for the night.
Oh, Roe v. Wade. And it being overturned, possibly. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, he didn't tell me like I was gonna have like the main floor.
You said I want to talk about it, and y'all okay? Well, I won't. I was like, I didn't say that. I didn't say you couldn't talk about it. I'm like, I'm giving you your spotlight to talk about what you want. I'm not a dictator. This show is not a dictatorship. If you tell me you want to talk about something,
it's a democracy.
Whatever you want to talk about, I'm gonna let you. Speaking of democracy, before she goes into that, vote, people, vote. Get your butt out and then vote, because it makes no sense what's going on now in this country. If you don't understand it, they're taking away your right. They're trying to take away your right to vote. They're trying to take away. They're trying to control your body. They're trying to kill you out here in these streets with these guns. They need to vote. Vote.
We need to vote.
We need to vote. Everybody need to vote. Mm-hmm. You know, you got racists in the Senate and the House of Representatives thinking, I don't care. I'm gonna call her. She's a racist. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a racist. Okay. I don't care what anybody wants to say. She is a racist. She don't like Muslims. She don't like black. She is a racist. So simple as that. And she represents something in Georgia. So I'm saying my man, is it Mike Owens? Is it him who's running against her? I get text message. Who was running against him?
I'll vote for him. I don't care.
He's a black man running against Democrat. He's a veteran. I know his commercial. He's a veteran. He's a Democrat.
You sound like Rachel.
And I'm running. That's what I'm saying.
She sound like Rachel. She likes Chick-fil-A because they have high quality chicken. Go ahead.
But he's a veteran and he's a good guy. He knows what. But we just got to get the racism.
And he knows what.
And she voted and she made the phone call trying to get the insurrection happening on January 6th. She's trying to cut a coup on the government. Trying to say, well, what he needed. Simply, she got to get out of there. I don't even vote in her district. She need to go. You do.
All righty.
All right, go ahead. Shantae, we want to talk about the Roe, the leak of the opinion document that got leaked, which has been verified as a true document.
So for those of you guys who've been living under a rock, it came out earlier this week that the high courts were coming to a decision about Roe v. Wade. So for those who do not know, because I realize, in conversation with friends and people that I know, that not everyone understands that and understands what Roe v. Wade actually means. But it's the right for a woman to choose whether or not she, if she gets pregnant and she wants to terminate the pregnancy, she has the right to choose whether or not she wants to do that or not. And so to overturn this particular piece of legislation will then begin to set the country back, because then what are you going to take away? Are you going to take people's rights away? Gay marriages, are you going to take that away? Are you going to take away the right for Black people to vote? I mean, like you're just going to start taking away and repealing things that have been put in place to make things more equal here in the United States. So essentially what took place was there was an opinion. An opinion is basically the judge's ideas and thoughts about how they would rule one way or another against a particular type of case. So each court or each justice will write up an opinion in terms of what they feel, and this opinion is supposed to either persuade or turn the other officials off, right? And the other justices off.
So Samuel Alito's one got leaked.
Right. So as they write their opinions, they're basically writing their argument as to why they feel this way or the other way. And then they share these opinions amongst each other. And then once they have shared their opinions and file it for public record, then they make a ruling or a decision on that case one way or the other. So
one interjection, the opinions aren't filed for public record. Those are opinions. Those have never been filed. So you don't get to see those. So that's why it's such a big deal.
So they're filed, but not for public record.
Yeah, they're filed, but not for public record. So you don't get to see the opinion polls. That's why it's been leaked before any ruling. And that's why it's such a big deal.
So from the way that the opinion is written, it appears that they would like to overturn the decision that was made back in 1973 to say women have the right to choose. So pro-choice. So today, just want to kind of touch on everyone's opinion about that and how they feel. I guess I'll start with myself. So what I will say is I believe that every person, whether it's male or female, they should have a right to determine what happens with their body one way or another. I don't think it is our business as to what a person may or may not be going through, especially considering that we do not have a system in place in this United States that we live in to really combat somebody saying, okay, I got pregnant. I don't wish to be a mother right now, and I want to be able to give the baby away. We don't have a good enough system in place to say, okay, there's an orphanage that you can take the baby to, that the baby will be loved and cared for, and this, that, and the third. We don't even have really a good foster system and not enough foster parents to be able to take these types of situations. So the welfare system is not foolproof and is failing miserably. So I'm just trying to figure out, if you don't give a person the right to choose, what is the alternative to make sure that the baby has the life that it deserves?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it?
As I've seen and I believe wholeheartedly, why do a whole bunch of white men want to choose what to do with women's body? Excuse me, some Republicans are not white, some are women, some are black, but it's majority of the Republicans that are they call it pro-life. They don't call it right to choose. They want to control what a woman does with her body 100%, but they don't want to control what happens with these guns. So it's a shame. I believe, women should be able to do what she wants with her body. Man, anybody should be able to do what they want with their body. Whether you want to have a baby, not have a baby, do what you want to do with your body, because that's your choice. Ain't nobody should be controlling. So it's going to be sad if they do overturn it, because it's going to be a lot more divisiveness in this country, where the left and the right get way so much further than each other. It's going to get way out of hand.
Well, there was something that somebody said on the news, and this was actually an abortion clinic in Wisconsin, and it was like the director of the abortion clinic, and basically what she was saying is that, unfortunately, women are still going to try to do whatever they can. If they don't want the baby, they're going to try to do something to get rid of it. So then you're going to see a higher influx of either women committing suicide or they really doing something to harm themselves to kind of get rid of the baby and things like that, when this is kind of a safer method in terms of how to terminate, they call it a DNC, to perform the DNC on the person who is, under the weeks. I think it's like 3 months in some states, and then I think in some states it's 4 months. It just depends.
So the question I have is, if Roe v. Wade disappears, what happens to the morning after pill?
Well, that would be the next thing that they would be trying to look at, is to try to get rid of Planned Parenthood.
Well, they've been trying to get rid of Planned Parenthood for.
But the thing is, if they get rid
but the morning after pill is completely different than Planned. They I know they give it out at Planned Parenthood and you got that stuff, but you're gonna go to the CVS or the Walgreens, pay your how much, I don't even know how much it is, but
like
you go
$50.
like pay you $50 and say I need a morning after pill behind the counter. Is it over the counter? It's over the counter now?
Yeah, or it's on the shelf.
It's on the shelf now. So you say I need a morning after. Go get your morning after. Pay $50 for your morning after pill, and that's that.
Well, the thing is what they're saying is that it's not really a pregnancy until there's like a official heartbeat, which that typically comes between 6 weeks or so. So, Robin,
why are you asking people their personal questions? Don't ask people their personal questions. Like, we talking serious things right now, and you ask people why they know certain things.
I go to CVS a lot, and I see it on the shelf.
There you go.
Sees it on the shelf. So, anyways, so that would be considered contraceptive versus a DNC. There's a difference because it's the time frame in which, because you can only take the morning after pill up to 48 hours. I think it's either 48 or 72 hours after the unprotected sex. But after the unprotected sex, and it's longer than that, you would have to determine whether or not there's a heartbeat or not. And then once the heartbeat is determined, then you will be eligible for the DNC. So that's the difference between them. So then Plan B is more like a contraceptive versus a DNC is basically taking the life.
Gotcha.
So essentially, if they reverse this, it would be left up to the state as to whether or not it is legal. So what Roe v. Wade did was say that it is legal for the whole country.
Yeah.
So repealing it says, okay, if I repeal this, then each state can make their individual decisions about what to do.
Yeah, because Kemp just did the heartbeat bill.
The heartbeat bill.
So yeah.
Texas got more restrictive, and then there's another state that I think Oklahoma or somebody, Montana, somebody put it restrictive one. It's going to get worse and worse.
I don't understand how you want to change. I mean, I don't know. Like y'all said, you got laws. You making laws that tell them what a woman should do with their body. I don't see no laws that tell men what they should do with their body.
That part.
If men, well, I read it somewhere. If men were to get pregnant, they would, this
would be a whole different story, because let me tell you,
abortion would be illegal everywhere. It would be illegal.
Somebody said, I saw on social media, they said a nigga get pregnant, they be having abortions at barbershops.
They have drive-through abortions. You go to drive-through. Yeah, I gotta get an abortion, please. And drive through the window.
Get a number 2 and a cheeseburger.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
You got a bunch of men running this country trying to tell women what they should do.
And the interesting thing is, a woman can't get pregnant without a man.
Yeah.
It's not like they can get themselves pregnant.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, I want an abortion.
Then they got this, the people are talking about, well, you need to give men vasectomies when they hit puberty, and then give them a reversible vasectomy when they hit puberty.
There you go.
And then when you realize they're able to take care of child.
When they get married, that's when you can reverse it.
I don't know about all.
I feel like you can't get it reversed
until you prove
until you get married.
You bring the marriage certificate. I need my vasectomy.
That is correct. That's how I feel like it should be. If we have to be like, okay, we can't get abortions, then y'all need to get vasectomies at puberty. I think that's a good option. Well, ladies, let's get together and put that bill on the table.
I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's something.
Oh, okay. So now you don't feel like that's okay?
I don't think that's okay, but I don't think it's okay to mess with a woman either.
Look,
so
I feel like that's a good option.
I'm on your side.
I feel like that's a good option if y'all want to take our option off the table. Let's take your option off the table. Anyway, we don't got to worry about having babies. That you don't you ain't really ready for.
Well, we've come to our time limit. We got into a very serious subject, and that's why I tell people they got to vote. Vote like somebody said, vote like your life depends on it. Because what?
It does.
Yes, it does. Vote like your life depends on it because it does. Early voting has started here in Georgia. If you're anyplace else, find out when you're early voting in your primaries. Because I've watched some of these debates, and these people look like fools. Okay. Okay. All right.
What does that say?
Breezy is biased. She's on the other side.
I'm biased. I feel like it's a life from a moment of contraception. But I respect conception. Oh, I'm
Psalms
sorry.
139:16.
But I respect
each other's decision. I mean, respect your decision.
Yeah. There you go.
If like I said, it's your choice. Whatever decision you want to do it.
That's why I said I didn't say
a law to tell you what you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
So I'm like, the laws don't control. I'm not going either way. Pro-life, pro-choice. I'm saying leave women's body alone.
Exactly.
Women's bodies. They should not be trying to control what a woman does with her body.
Yeah.
So I guess I am pro-choice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not against pro-life, but I am pro-choice.
Yeah.
Choose what you want. Let the woman choose what she want to do with her body.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
agree.
There you go. So, we had other subjects to talk about. Georgia, they acting crazy. I think we're gonna leave that one alone. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with us every Thursday night.
I feel like that was like gonna hit my face as well.
I appreciate y'all hanging out with us every Thursday night. And y'all love Shantae's new hairdo. Look at that. Look at her braids. Look at her braids done. Look at her. Fresh out of beauty salon.
Fresh out the beauty salon.
All righty. So I appreciate y'all hanging with us every Thursday night. Listen to us talk and chatter and speak this mess that we got on our minds that we want to talk about, and just act the fool at times. We are always here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock to 8:45, spewing the facts and our opinion.
Spewing the opinions.
So take us,
not really the facts.
Our opinion. So like I would just say, so I have been Dwayne.
I am Shantae.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are the three Clarkes. So I need y'all to take us seriously.
But not too seriously.
Exactly.
Peace.
Peace.